Good morning, it's Amber from Blooms on the Hill, and it's a beautiful day. I'm putting my boots on and I am going out to watch my husband and my nephew, who are currently in my flower patch with the tractor, and they are ploughing up my patch where I'm going to put my dahlias. So that's exciting. I've decided that I'll probably start putting them in now because I've got some already in the paddock that I just left in and they've started sprouting. So I left them in as an indicator, so when they started popping up I would know that's about when they're ready to go in. The soil's warm enough. We had a look at the radar, so I don't think there's too much rain on the way. There's going to be a little bit later this week, but only 10 mil or so, so not much. So that's the issue with putting them in too early, is it's obviously too cold. They don't like frost at all. The other thing is if it's too wet, then there's the chance they can rot once they're in the ground. But my area is quite sloping where it is, so it's got pretty good drainage. But tractor's happening right now. Good stuff. Dahlia tuber planting I'm going to get done today, but I'm going to do some cooked breakfast for people, as you do. I've just sent one of my boys to tell my husband that breakfast is almost ready, and my son said, no, we're catching huntsmans and making them fight. Okay, I've just watered in my greenhouse and I'm going to move all these dahlias, tubers that are in pots, and gradually get them over to my plot. So I don't know how many I'll get in today. Depends how much my back can take. And I'll start planning them out. I think I'll go for all the white ones first. Last year I had a big system. I spent ages on my computer working out a whole rainbow map of how I was going to plant them. It's a complete and utter waste of time, really. But I will keep things together in types and attempt to keep things together in colour, because it just makes it easier when you're harvesting for markets if you've got buckets of all the same colour. So that's really the only reason why. Other than that, the rainbow was, yeah, I suppose it kind of looked pretty as things sort of graduated in colour, but really it made no difference, because when you looked out across the whole plot, it was just a big mass of colour anyway, so not wasting my time there. Fresh soil, so much promise. So got some tubers here to start with, and these are all white ones. I've got White Supreme, I've got My Love, Boundary Snowflake, Little Angel. I do have other white ones somewhere, I think. Anyway, I'm going to start white up here and then just keep planting, do as much as I can today. So I'll get as much in as I can. I'll probably try to keep things fairly together in terms of colour, but not stress too much. My new ones I'm going to put over here. The tulip bed, I've got to dig that up. And ranunculus, get those out. But the handful of new ones I've got, I think I'll keep them together and I'll keep them separate. So I'll put them over there, I think, and then I can just sort of give them a bit more space and a bit more love. Yeah, lots of work today. Okay, this isn't actually taking too long. It never really does. It's just that there's a lot. So I'm working my way through the white ones at the moment, and what I'm doing is I'm putting them 45 centimeters apart. Last season I had them in 30 centimeters apart, so I think I've done that other seasons too, but it's okay, 30 centimeters apart if you're planting like lots and lots, and they kind of hold each other up. I never put any supports in mine because yeah, they just all sort of cling together. But I found last year they could have benefited from being a little bit further apart and just getting a little bit more room to spread out and that sort of thing. So I thought I'd go for 45 centimeters, and I think I will I'll have 2 rows, and then I'll have a path. With the 2 rows I'll have them so they're sort of spaced diagonally, and that will just give them that little bit more space. So I'll show you what I've got done. So not much. I've just started from the top up here down the side. You can see where the white tags are. And what I'll do is I will go get a bit of paper afterwards and just write down what I've got in order, because sometimes these tags do fade and I can always have that bit of paper to refer to later. So we're just working our way down here. It's not very exciting. Okay, I've got you propped up very precariously on a pot. So what I'm doing is I have a little 30 centimeter ruler, which is a broken one. Doesn't matter if it gets all buggered up. And I'm just measuring obviously on, so there's one just planted just here, which you can't see, it's not in the shot. And I'm just putting my ruler down and measuring along 45 centimeters, which will be here. Stabby, stab, stab. And yeah, so the hole you're gonna dig is, there's my tuber, which has been in some potting mix, and it's got some roots. I've never done this before. I've never had things sitting in pots. I have noticed that some of them, where the top of the tuber was sticking out, it was drying a little bit. So, and I shouldn't water the tubers, but I have been giving them a light spray when I've been in the greenhouse. The benefit, I guess, of potting them up beforehand is that, you know, they do get some growth going on. I've noticed that some I've already planted haven't got sprouts, so whether they actually are going to grow, we'll find out. But the ones I potted up did all have shoots or little purple buds happening, so whether I've actually destroyed any by putting them in the greenhouse, I don't know, because obviously it is warmer in there, so I guess we'll find out. Anyway, planting tubers, make sure I have my tag. You should put them in, well, as I said, I'm putting mine 45 centimeters apart. I'm just digging a little hole. Hori knives are great for this, whichever you're going to use. And 10 centimeters deep is what you should do. And just lay them in. So this one's got a shoot on it, whether or not, actually it's focusing on me, you probably can't see that, but I'm going to put him in horizontally in the hole. So he's lying down and the shoot, he's in there, and the shoot's upwards. Grow, Dahlia, grow. Okay, yeah, and then just whack your dirt over and put your tag in, which there it is. So you shouldn't water your tubers when you put them in, which just seems to go against everything that you do when you put a plant in. You don't water them until the shoots appear. So yeah, once then, don't overwater. You don't want them to rot. The other thing you need to do is make sure that you protect them well from slugs and snails, because they absolutely love the really tender shoots of a dahlia. So get yourself some snail bait, or however you like to deal with your snails. I get one, I buy it in a big bag. It's about $65. I get it online. It's also dog friendly and wildlife friendly and all of that. So I'm not killing anything other than the slugs and snails. And you will find that once the plants get up big enough, they will stop being delicious to your yucky slimy things. So then they'll leave them alone. But it is a bit painful to start with, and I'll probably go around and spread slug and snail bait maybe 2 or 3 times. It sort of does dissipate in amongst the soil when you get the rain and that kind of thing, so it is a bit of an ongoing battle. But anyway, what else? Yes, you will need to pinch out your dahlias, so there will be a later video on that when I do that. But basically you pinch out the leading growing shoot in the center there, and I usually wait until the dahlia is about 20-30 centimeters high, and then you take, well, say it's a 30 centimeter high plant, you'll take out that leading growing shoot and you take out about 10 centimeters off the top, and that will mean that your dahlia will then branch out more and you'll get lots more flowers. But that's the thing to look at later. Other than that, we're just going to keep planting away. Got a costume change because it's really hot, so I'm wearing shorts, and change my shirt and taking off some layers. Crazy. Sun's really hot. It's probably only 23 degrees, but it's super hot. Look at my hair stuffed under my hat. yeah, that's the one thing about flower farming is don't get yourself sunburn. I cop a bad sunburn every year and feel really sick with it. Like, so I'm being really good. Long sleeves. So I just thought I'd show you. Here's a little tuber, and it's got a little teeny tiny weeny little one. This is Florally Harmony. This is one that I got last year. It doesn't matter about the size of your tuber. If you think, oh, I've bought some tubers, and you get these big tubers, and then you get these tiny weeny little ones, and you think, oh, that's not good. No, actually it's fine. It doesn't matter on the size of the tuber, as long as it's got an eye. This has actually got a little sprout. You can see that there. Probably not because it's focusing on my face, but he'll be fine. So he can just go in the ground. I always call my Dahlias boys. Why? People get offended. Oh, shouldn't they be girls? Probably. Anyway, so, and also too, if you get, my hat looks funny from the front, if you get a tuber that's a little bit shriveled, like tiny bit dry, it's still going to be okay as long as it's got a viable eye. So I've got ones that are a little bit shriveled, and they're perfectly fine because they've got little shoots coming. So they're quite resilient tubers. Sometimes, like I've got, for example, my cornflake ones are really shriveled up and dried. Like they're just like, yeah, they're I can see that they're no good. But if they start to get that little bit of a shrivel on, don't panic. As long as they've got that eye, you're all good. Anyway, I'll keep going with this. I'm putting in 3 of each. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I'm doing sort of 3 of each. I've actually got 112 varieties that I've counted up, which is crazy, and that's including my new ones. So some of them I'll only have 1 of. Most I'm putting in 3, so into this area here. Some I really like, particularly as wedding ones, so I might put in as many as 5. The rest of the tubers I have left over, if I really want them, like them, wedding type colours, they're going to go down there. Others that I have, for example, Winky Cavaliers, I have about 1 billion of those. I'm not going to plant them all out, that's ridiculous. So I will think of what to do with those. I might even do a bit of a giveaway actually. We're getting up to, well, I'm sort of creeping, oh well, no, I'm not there yet. I think we're about 400 and something, 40 something subscribers here, which is crazy. So if we get up to 500, maybe we might do a giveaway, and I guess someone can win a whole bunch of tubers. Though if I do that, it'll have to be, I can't send to Western Australia or Tassie or Northern Territory or overseas, obviously. So yeah, I'm going to keep planting, make sure I keep myself hydrated. What a gorgeous day. Is you want to plant your dahlia tubers where, oh, up my nose, not up my nose, don't plant them up my nose. We've got good drainage because they can rot even if they look fine. I planted some last season, some new ones, put them in, and then they never eventuated. And when I put them in, they were fine, lovely looking tubers with shoots, and sometimes they just don't come up, and it's nothing to do with where you've bought them from. It's not your fault either. It's potentially just that they may have got a little bit too much rain on them and they may have rotted, which is, that's the likely scenario. So it can happen. It's disappointing, but that's Mother Nature, I guess. It just does what it does. So the best thing you can do to try and stop that happening is plant them in a well-drained area. That's really all you can do. My area is, this is all on a slope. Up that way, it's sloping down from there, down this direction. And the soil is pretty well drained. We don't get any pools of water in amongst this area here, and neither in my paddock either. So I really shouldn't have any problem with it. But last spring I had those few that rotted, and we just had a really wet spring. So it happens. It's disappointing. Just go for next year. Okay, what I'm doing now is I had bagged up tubers for myself, so selling tubers to other people but making sure that I've got enough for me. So I've put roughly 3 to 5 in each bag, labelled, and now I'm just going through and just sorting them into piles of red, pink, collarets. There's a bucket here with some yellow ones in it, some orange ones, just sort of roughly putting them together, and just so I can keep them roughly together out in the field. Just makes it easier for harvesting so that colours are together in buckets. Right, I've got to the end of this row. I don't know how many is in there. I have to do a count. This one on the end is florally toffee here. I don't think I'll go any further than that. It gets a bit nasty from there on. I've only got one of those. Didn't love it last year, but anyway, I've only got one. So got some first prize next to it. I think I've put 4 of those in. That's actually quite a good ball variety. And then beyond that, there's actually, I've got a whole bunch of Salmon Joy. Love them. I've put 6 in. I didn't have any of those in my sale because I completely lost the little bucket. I wondered where the hell was my Salmon Joys gone, and then I found them and discovered that a lot of them were good, perfect. They're a really beautiful one. So I've put 6 in because they're really good wedding colour. Everyone seems to want that peachy pink. So what I'm going to do from here is I'll go back up the top and I'll start doing the next row along, and I'm going to have 45 centimetres in between the first row and the second row, and then I'll have a walkway. Now last season I think I left 90 centimetres. It still is super close because they grow really big and then you walk down this walkway and they all attack you. But I don't really want to leave any more space than that because it just digs in too much of my garden bed. So anyway, we'll keep going. Had some water and I'm going down. Jack and I, there's Jack. Jack and I are going down to, oh don't cry, the post office. I've got to deliver tubers, Sue, the dairy farmer. So they're going to the post office now and I've got a parcel to pick up, which I think will be tubers. I've got Sandy, lovely pale pink one, and I think the other one was called Honeycomb, which is a little pom-pom. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's tubers. That's where he sits there. Good to have a break though. If you're doing lots of things like what I've just been doing, planting daily tubers like that, get up and down, mix it up with some walking and some stretching and eating and drinking. And yeah, because I mean I lock in the place and then I can't get up. It's really bad. But it just, you know, it helps your back and everything if you just mix it up a bit. Anyway, I'm going to the post office. I live in a really nice part of the world. Check this out. How pretty is it? It's pretty. Oh look, sheep. This is Fox's Hole, which is just around the corner from us really. A lot of people come here to swim. Just got back from the post office and I got my parcel, and I found on the way out, I stopped at my mailbox and had a look, and then there was another one there that arrived today. So this was one from yesterday. So they're both Jarvie tubers and it's the last of them. So this one's from Southern Highlands Flower Farm. I've got Jessie G. I'm pretty sure that's a pink one. And I got Pam. So that's a pink pom-pom one. Like, I'm going for the small pom-poms a bit this year because they last well in bouquets, and because, oh, that's pretty. They also, what was I trying to say? They last well in bouquets. And, oh yeah, good for buttonholes. My mind's going. Yeah, good for buttonholes for weddings. So that's Southern Highlands Flower Farm. Nice little thing about arriving, and there's an invoice. And this one was from New View Flower Farmers. I got some from them. Oh, that's a really pretty picture. I got some of them from there last season. And I got Sandy and Ginger Nut. So that's the one I was talking about, Sandy and not Honeycomb, Ginger Nut. So that's all nice packing stuff. So they're in there. So I'll inspect those. I'm just going to go have a cup of tea and then get back out to the Dahlia plant. Okay, I'm just going to keep going here. I've got, well, I'm sort of seem to be starting on the pink ones now. So I'll just keep plugging away. It's not very interesting to watch. The only other thing I could tell you really is dahlias do like full sun. So where I am here, even though it would be nice to be working in the shade, it does kind of defeat the purpose. So at least 6 hours of sun they like. So somewhere nice and sunny. As I said before, don't water them in, but do start watering once you see some shoots appear. okay? The other thing with the watering is that dahlias, they are quite thirsty plants, so usually like a really good soaking once a week is about what they need. If it's extra dry, then by all means, you know, give them some water. They do love it. Other than that, I'm going to keep going. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for coming along with me on this dahlia planting journey today, and I'll catch up with you next time. This job has got knobs on it, tell you what. Ugh, if you believe it, this is the second day, and well, I didn't do a whole day today, but I finished. There's rows of 2, row of 2, row of 2, and another, here's 1 row, and then there'll be more in here, I think, because I've got some that were seeds last year, and there's a couple that were really good that I'm going to just put a few out if they've got good tubers to see if they come good again. And then I've got a few seedlings, but this is, if you can see all those white tags. I know I said goodbye yesterday, but this is a little PS on the end. I'm just going to take my notebook now, and I'm going to walk up and down the aisles and just write down all the varieties. So everything's obviously tagged. Most of them there's 3 of each variety. Some of them there's like even 5. Some of them there's 1. Those that I put lots in of are obviously good ones for weddings, ones I really like, that type of thing. But I'm just going to make a list of them all, so because in case the tags fall out or wear off or anything like that. So that's what I'm up to now. So thanks for coming along. And I will then get over to the tulip bed at some point. Probably not today, it's too warm and I'm running out of time, and put my new ones in, and then I'm done.